For this lesson, we are focusing on real world problems or word problems. Some of you might like them, some of you might hate them, but it is important that we understand how to apply our math to the real world. Otherwise, what's the point, right? So I just want to remind us what the different operations mean. So we have adding. Anytime we're talking about combining things, putting them together, that's going to be adding. Now, subtracting, there's a couple of different things. It can be if we're taking something away, like if I have some cookies and you take some of them away, that can be subtraction. Or we can be comparing to find the difference. Like, how much taller is somebody? How much shorter? How many more does this person have? So anytime we're trying to do that, to say, okay, this person has this, or is this tall, or whatever, and this person's up here, what's the difference between these two things? How much more? That is subtracting to figure that out. Multiplying is when we're combining, just like in adding, but this time it is, you have equal groups of things. If you think back to when you first learned, probably in 3rd grade, they might have called it repeated addition, because you're just adding the same thing over and over and over, and the faster way to do that is by multiplying. And then dividing, we have the total, and we're sharing it equally. We're splitting something equally. We know how much we have all together, and we're putting it into equal groups. Where we are focusing today is on the multiplying, right? So if I have multiplying, you can think of it like, okay, if I know how many groups I have, and I know how many is in each group, that is multiplying. Now, maybe I can't actually draw it out because there's just, it's such a big number, but imagine in your brain, it's like, okay, if I had all the time, could I draw an equal number of groups, and do I know how many are in each group? Then I can use multiplying. Let's take a look at some of the examples. A gas station sells 492 gallons of gas an hour. How much gas would they have sold after 10 hours? Okay, so we have equal groups. We have 10 hours. So we can think of each hour as a group. And do we know how many is in each group? Well, yes, we do. We have 492 gallons in each group, in this case, each hour. So then I could write that in each one. So then I know I can multiply to figure out how much that is. I can do 492 times 10. A movie theater has 32 rows of seats. If each row has 90 seats in it, how many seats does the theater have total? So I can think, okay, I have 32 rows. In this case, I'm not going to draw them all, but I have 32 of them, and each row has 90 seats in it. Well, I'm repeating 90 over and over and over 32 times, so I can just do 90 times 32. Excuse me. And remember, using what you did last lesson, you know, sorry, you can do 9 times 32 and then add that 0 on once you are done. Now there's one of these, I believe, yep, so that has multiple steps in it. A group of tourists, I'm reading number 9. A group of tourists visits an art museum. The admission is $13 for each adult and $7 for each child. There are 10 adults and 18 children in the group. How much do they pay all together? Okay, so we have some different groups happening. We have 10 adult groups, and each of those is $13. Then, I'm just going to switch colors to show. We have 18 children's groups. We have 18 of those. And then each of those is $7. So you're going to need to do some different multiplying. You'll need to do 13 times 10 to figure out the adults, 7 times 18 to figure out the kids. And then to get the total, we're just combining those together. So you'll just add those two numbers together to get the total. Make sure to ask if you have any questions. If you want me to read any more of the problems for you, go ahead, or else remember you can use this text-to-speech function. Just gonna get rid of that. If you want, it should read. So it's a very computerized voice, but it can help you read it, because that can be a tricky part, is to figure out what's going on. Anyway, good luck with this, and let me know if you need help.